So today I'm talking about warming up. And we can get quite impatient when we go to practice, and I do it, and I know lots of my students do it. We just really want to get into the meat of our practice. We want to go to that piece that we've been working on. We want to work on something new. We want to try that new idea that we thought of. But if we jump straight onto our instruments without first warming up both the body and the mind, then chances are it's going to feel pretty rough and rusty when we jump into that potentially difficult thing, and that could be very demotivating. It could put us in a bad mood for the rest of the practice session. Basically, if you play and you haven't warmed up and so everything is not really sounding very good and it doesn't feel comfortable, then if you're already maybe having a little bit of a bad day, that could be the thing that sets you over the edge and sets the tone for a really unproductive and unenjoyable practice session. So warming up to free the muscles, to limber up the muscles, to just make the muscles remember where they have to go to play the instrument is really important. And we also need to kind of almost make warming up feel like brushing our teeth in the morning. So if we do it every time we practice, it will become a habit. And then it means that we can use it to almost get us into the musical mindset. We can use it as a transition from whatever we were doing before to the music we want to play. So it becomes like the bell that signals, day job stops, music starts, fun starts. And it's also, if we have even a ritual of warming up, then that can be a good thing for dealing with any performance anxiety. So if you have something that limbers you up, that gets your mind ready, that gets your body ready, it can help to sort of soften any feelings of nerves or anxiety that may be creeping up in anticipation of a performance. And the other thing that it's important to talk about when warming up is that it's important to warm up before lessons and before concerts. So most people don't jump into a concert without having played their instrument and played at least a few notes, but possibly also warmed up their muscles. They don't need to play the whole piece. Maybe you don't want to play the whole piece because you want to save it, keep it fresh for the performance or the audition that you're about to do. But just warming up and warming up the muscles and the mind is very, very helpful in these situations, as is warming up before a lesson. So if you go to the lesson not warmed up, and then the teacher has to spend the first 15 minutes of the lesson warming you up, then that's 15 minutes of the lesson almost wasted, where you could be getting into the real nitty-gritty of things. And so maybe the lesson, if you have warmed up, maybe the lesson will still start with those warm-up exercises, but the teacher will be working with you. They won't be working with you on the kind of raw initial sound that some of those problems may be ironed out by the time you've warmed up whatever instrument you play. So the teacher will be working on things more deeply. And especially if you're an intermediate to advanced player, warming up before a lesson is very, very helpful, and it means you're getting the most for the money you're paying that teacher. If you're a beginner, perhaps warming up is easier done in the lesson with the teacher because you're not really sure how to warm up, but that's a question to ask the teacher. You can say, do you have a routine that maybe I could follow to warm up in my practice every day? Or what would you like me to do before the lesson? How would you like me to warm up before the lessons? Maybe the teacher will say, I would prefer to do the warm up in the lesson so that I can make sure you're not working on bad habits, which is totally fine for beginners. So it's definitely a discussion to have with your teacher. How do I warm up on my instrument? And if you are feeling a bit impatient in this practice session, don't skip the warm up. It doesn't have to be very long. Just spend a little bit of time limbering up your muscles, limbering up your mind, and also creating that transitional space between life outside of music and life inside the music. Hi, I'm Erica. I am a musician and music teacher, And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more practice tips, motivation and inspiration. And also share this video with any friends who are also practicing music. And finally, if you like, you can stick around for a short meditation at the end of this video to prepare you for a great day's practice. So happy practicing, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So we're going to take a few minutes to prepare for practice, to relax the body and the mind. You can take out your instrument, have any music, books, pencils ready. Then you can sit or stand with your instrument or without. And we're going to start with a soft focus in the eyes. Bring your awareness to the space you're in. Notice any sounds in the room, any smells. And then with the next exhale, closing the eyes. And we bring our awareness in to our bodies, feeling the weight of the body on the chair, or feeling the feet connected with the floor. Maybe feeling the instrument in your hands, its texture under your fingers. And then bringing the awareness further in still to the breath and to the place where you feel it. Maybe the nose, the throat, the chest, the diaphragm, feeling the rise of each inhale and the release of each exhale. And as you notice the breath, on each exhale, letting every muscle in your body release just a little bit more. Each exhale brings more relaxation to the body and more stillness to the mind. And if thoughts arise, just let them do what it is they want to do. Maybe they float by, maybe they stay. Just bringing your awareness back to the breath, back to each inhale and to the release of the exhale. Every breath, relaxing the muscles in the body just a tiny bit more. And then bringing the awareness back out to the body, to the weight of the body in the chair, the feeling of your feet connected to the floor, the feeling of your instrument under your fingers. Then bringing the attention further out into the space, noticing any sounds in the room, however small they might be. And then gently blinking the eyes open, ready to start practice for the day.